Art. It can open the doors of our minds to imagination. Sculptures such as this grace cityscapes to add texture and color. It can be also small sculptures that grace a garden or a lawn. You see, art adds texture and color to ourselves, our families, our societies, and our communities. Murals such as this one, along with the sculpture, can grace our cities and towns. Buildings themselves are also art, such as this one. It can also take the form of clothing, such as this Halloween costume I made a decade ago. Art is created by artists. Artists need communities of their own. Here we are on State Street. We're entering the Alley District. This was a thriving business community before downtown Bellingham became what it is now. Several businesses moved towards downtown Bellingham, and the rents here started to get cheaper. A group of budding entrepreneurs and artists moved in, taking advantage of the cheap rents, and formed a community that thrived for the last several years. The community allowed artists to support and collaborate each other, and they created a culture of their own, including celebrations. As these old buildings aged over the years, many factors put pressure on housing in Bellingham. First of all, a rapidly expanding Western Washington University, a strong desirability for retirement here in Bellingham, along with commuters fleeing the high cost of the Seattle area, and outside investors purchasing lots of rental housing, have all combined to put pressure on housing, likewise putting pressure on development on land that is zoned for multi-family housing, especially close to downtown Bellingham. To fulfill the need of student housing, the proposed development for the Alley District property is student housing combined with retail. There will be two buildings separated by a pedestrian alley to connect State Street to the South Bay Trail, as you can see in this diagram. The property is already surrounded by several properties of multi-family housing. This is the only property that is currently undeveloped. Here's yet another diagram showing the atrium and pedestrian alley provided. Here's an aerial view of the development Here is a current view from the South Bay Trail, looking into where the party's going on right now. Here is the proposal. Please note the beautiful atrium provided facing the trail. Here's the front side view from State Street. Note the retail on the first floor. Many folks I've talked to expressed surprise that it had taken this long for this property to be developed. Most residential areas in Bellingham are zoned for single-family housing. Those are the yellow areas on this map. The pink areas are for multifamily and urban zone housing. As you can see, they're quite small, resulting in enormous pressure for development. Much of the zoning map was created at a time when Bellingham was a small industrial city. The transition from the industrial town to a university and retirement destination has put enormous pressure on an outdated zoning regime established many years ago. At the time when Bellingham was the mill town, Seattle was where expansion was taking place. The downtown was typical of that of a mid-sized city with one or two paper mills. However, in 1988, when the Bellis Fair Mall opened, the downtown became abandoned. That resulted in a concerted effort by the Chamber of Commerce as well as others to revitalize downtown. What they've started was to create a downtown that has become extremely desirable and where many people, retirees and students, as well as others, want to live at or nearby. Of course, here in Bellingham, like any other city, art does have a very important role in the soul of the city. I'm trying my own tiny experiment doing art abandonment, taking small sculptures I made and leaving them out and about downtown free for the taking, and people have been taking them. And by the way, there are still a number of spaces for artists here in Bellingham. Here are a few. As the era of the community of the Alley District comes to a close, let's all hope that the city and the people in Bellingham do remember how art is very important for the soul of our community, that we treasure artists and we try to prevent this kind of thing from happening in the future.